The war for Hindustan had restarted just a few years after its ceasefire. The Chauhan and Paravara Rajputs fiercely contested the supremacy of the land. The Chauhans, even with the support of the independent Rajput states, were divided. The brothers Prithviraj and Sama, still holding to their old rivalries, were unwilling to hate each other to defeat the Paravara foe, leading to a tough position in Jayameru, with a more stable and united Paravara Rajputs that expanded even further in the subcontinent. After his defeat against Chamundaraj, Sama desperately tried to gather as many of his warriors as possible to throw them against the army besieging Anhilvara. For if they captured it, Jayameru would be at risk. His forces, however, were too few and weak to contend against Chamundaraj's host, being defeated once more. By the end of the year, Prithviraj was raising new temples in Jalandhar, while overlooking his possible opportunities into annexing all of the Multan region. It was at this time that the Anhilvara Rajputs were not able to hold any longer against the Paravara assaults, being conquered by Chamundaraj and his mighty army. By 1183, Prithviraj was using his diplomats to research and draw the topography of the western lands with the aid of good emissaries. This way, he had a better understanding of the mountainous regions of the Kurids and the location of the Multan region's next great city, which the Maharaja coveted for his purpose of using Multan and Jalandhar as his shield against the Muslims. In the south, the campaign season had ended, and the Paravara rested from their gains, allowing time for Sama to retrain his forces and acquiring the aid of the Samnath and Kuch Rajputs in the war. Seeing a small detachment of Paravara Rajputs laying about near his border, Sama decided to engage with them, to slowly deplete the enemy numbers by stealth. But when he reached to attack it, he found himself caught in an ambush, where another small Paravara host awaited him. Being outnumbered, Sama nevertheless decided to face the opponent. Further show of weakness would demoralize his army to the point of no return. He showed his aggressiveness in this battle, approaching the minor host before the other could support. Samar used his forces superbly, throwing the weaker-minded Paravara captains into disarray. For his experience in battle was far greater than them, defeating both hosts with ease. It was after this battle that grave news reached Delhi, that may the Maharaja hold his western plans to finally involve himself in the wars with the Paravara. For his allies of Kanauj and Kalinja report of Paravara raiding parties into their lands. As well the young Rajput nobility of Gwalior, who had now matured, requesting Prithviraj for their rightful throne, awarding him with their vassalage. Seeing great support among the Rajput states, Prithviraj accepted their requests to attack the Paravara, hoping to end their ferocity and have them in his fold. Hoping to get Jaisin by surprise, Prithviraj quickly marched towards Gwalior with a moderate host. But their agents were well aware of the Chauhan's attempt to the city, making the Paravara bring a great host from the south to support Jaisin. Prithviraj, seeing what occurred, sent messages to his brother, urging him to push against Chamundaraj and aid the Anhilvara Rajputs to retrieve their homeland, which a small resistance had sprung up against the Paravara. The Raja, however, decided to recover his forces and await for future opportunities, not wanting to make his brother's will and to rest his tired warriors that were fed up with many battles. Seeing no response from his brother, Prithviraj decided to nonetheless charge against the Paravara in Gwalior, attacking the army that was defending the bridge that led to the city. It was a rainy night. The Chauhans were starting to make their plans to cross the bridge, when the main Paravara host started to cross the bridge themselves. Their morale was high, and were confident that with a strong assault, they would put the attackers in a retreat back to their lands. Chauhan archers began to target the close ranks that crossed the bridge, while their own warriors started to march towards them to gain control of the bridge. For hours, the battle raged on over the mastery of the bridge. but the Paravara were beginning to win control of the battle, pushing Prithviraj's army back to their original position. The Chauhan archers had finally made their effect, killing the Parabara captain, leading to many of their warriors to retreat back to Gwalior, leaving the control of the breach to Prithviraj. Chauhan cavalry quickly made chase of the fleeing opponent, and by the time they reached the other side, Jai Singh and his retinue arrived from Gwalior to try and save their position. Jai Singh attacked the light Chauhan infantry that had crossed the bridge by this point, while Prithviraj's cavalry was able to escape from the Paravara elephants. Prithviraj, seeing the opportunity for a victory, crossed the bridge with his elephants to confront directly with Jai Singh, where a deadly battle occurred with their war beasts. Jai Singh was defeated and fled back to Gwalior, leaving Prithviraj the victor and in control of the bridge to Gwalior, where he immediately attacked a reinforcing army that approached the city. Jai Singh came forth to help the reinforcing army, hoping to beat the tired Chauhans by this new assault. But they underestimated the renown that Prithviraj had on his men, who was seen as the hero of Hindustan, making them push the enemy back into a desperate situation, leading to their defeat. With this victory, all Paravara armies in the entire region had been defeated, leaving Prithviraj with the mastery of the land. He started a siege of Gwalior, where Jai Singh and the remnant of his forces prepared themselves as much as they could, while sending desperate messages to his father back in Dar to support him. Although no force existed at the moment to contend with the mighty Maharaja of the Chauhan Rajputs,